All the online students can respond in the chat window. Just 1 minute, guys. Right. What is the heading you done? Automation frameworks, right? Okay. Let's complete on that. The one we need to get understand about in working with individual programs, right? Previously, we got taking care about in working with individual programs here. So now we need to get taking care about in working with automation frameworks. So what exactly mean by this automation frameworks and why it has been came into the picture and why we are considering that more important while working with automation testing. So till now, we're done with automation, considering the meaning of automation testing. What is the meaning of automation testing? What is it? Testing done by the tools. The meaning of automation testing, we need to begin mentioning the testing done by the tool. That particular tool, we are using the Selenium. By using the Selenium tool, we got understand developing automation script. We are taking with the help of some manual step. Based on that particular manual step, we need to begin taking care about in developing with automation scripts. So till now, what we have been done, we can consider that we done with automation. Till now, what we have been done, we can consider that we done with automation, but we cannot say that or we cannot consider we done with 100% of automation. Till now, we are doing automation. We are referring the manual step. Based on the manual step, we need to begin develop automation script. That is perfectly okay. But we cannot consider it is in a 100% of automation. To consider we done with to consider we done with 100% of automation, to consider we done with 100% of automation, we have to take care about, we need to be taking care about in developing with automation script. We need to be taking care about in developing with automation script based on automation framework. Then only we can consider, we done with 100% of automation. So what exactly mean by this? Let's understand. See that a very simple understanding. See the heading. In the heading itself, we can clearly understand. What is the heading we provided? What is the heading we done? Automation frameworks. I mean, we are doing automation. This automation work, the automation work what we are doing, we need to frame the automation work what we are doing, we need to frame in a proper structure. If you frame in the very proper structure, that is what we will consider. That is what we will consider automation framework. As simple as the meaning of automation framework. The meaning of automation framework is we need to be doing that automation work in a framing proper structure that you are considering the automation framework. As simple as, still if you want to understand in a very simple way, the best example, let's take your laptop. In your laptop, you guys has been maintaining lot of data. Is that you are maintaining all the data in one folder? If you take your laptops, is that all the data maintained in one folder? How you are maintaining? Multiple folders. You are not maintained in one folder. You are not maintained in one folder. You need to be maintained. You need to be maintained in multiple folders. Why you are taking into multiple folders? Why not you can go with just one folder? Easy access. We can consider that easy access and we can consider that easy maintenance. We can consider that easy access and we can consider that easy maintenance here. The same thing applied in frameworks also. The same thing applied in frameworks also. While working with the automation framework, what exactly we are doing is, if we consider the definition of the framework, if we consider the definition of the framework, we can mention that creation of folder structure, creation of folder structure with standard rules. The meaning of automation framework, the meaning of automation framework, we can say that, or we can consider that creation of folder structure with standard rules. As simple as, same as your laptop. In your laptop, you are creating the folder. It's not like just creating the folder. You are following some standard rules. It's not like just creating the folder. You are following with the standard rules. Considering that, like you will be maintaining all important files one folder, softwares one folder, movies one more folder, songs one more folder. You have followed some standards here. As you mentioned that folder name is softwares, you will maintain only softwares in that folder. By that, your maintenance will become an easy. Your access also will become an easy. The same thing has been followed. The same thing has been followed. Considering that as simple as the meaning of automation framework. What is the meaning of automation framework? Creation of folder structure with standard rules. How many folders need to be created? How many folders need to be created? What are the standard rules need to be followed? How many folders need to be created? What are the standard rules need to be followed? It will depends on that project requirement. It will depends on that project requirement, or we can consider that client requirement. There is no concept of this framework 2 folders, another framework 3 folders. There is no concept of those things. As simple as the meaning of framework, considering the creation of folder structure with standard rules. What kind of standard rules? What kind of folders? It depends on that project and it depends on that client. Okay. But in general, if you are working any framework, you need to be followed the very common standard rules. As simple as if you take any of your laptops, by default having the folder of downloads folder. If you take any laptop, downloads folder will be there. So it's not like you have been created. By default, any of the framework, that will be the default folder will be available. The default standards. In a similar way, considering that this particular automation framework also, you can follow some regular standards while working any framework, any tool. Any tool it can work, any framework it can work. You need to be follow some standard rules here. Let's see that what are that standard rules need to be followed. Make a note of these two. Online students also make a note of these two. Considering that design of automation framework. Design of automation automation script. Design of automation framework and the design of automation scripts here. So two things we got it. Two standard rules need to be followed. Two standard rules need to be followed while working with any framework. Any framework you can work, any framework you can work, you have to take care about in following with two standard rules. In that, the one you mention, design of automation framework, and the one you will mention the design of automation script according to real-time standards. According to real-time standards. Design of according to real-time standards. Design of automation framework. Design of automation framework. Taking care by test lead. Design of automation framework taking care by test lead. Design of automation scripts. Design of automation scripts taking care by. Design of automation scripts taking care by tester. So as simple as design of automation framework done by test lead. Design of automation scripts done by tester. Okay. Now, this is according to real-time standards. When you guys are working in the real time, you never worried about designing the framework. Who will take care of that? Test lead will take care of it. As a automation tester, what is your job role? As an automation tester, what is your job role? Design of automation script. Just how to take care about in design of automation script. But as part of learning, we'll take with the both the things here. As part of learning, we'll take with the both the things here. First, we'll understand the design of automation framework, and then we'll understand the design of automation script. As simple as, what is the meaning of automation framework? Meaning of automation framework. Creation of folder structure with standard rules. As simple as you have to take care about in creating the folder. So how you will create the folder? Right click, new folder. So if you want to create new folder, you will just taking with right click and new folder. But as part of automation framework, everything you need to be get performed. Everything you need to be get performed from Eclipse only. As part of automation framework, everything you need to be get performed from Eclipse only. All that particular folders need to be get created. All that particular folders need to be get created from Eclipse only. So from Eclipse, how we can create? From Eclipse, how we can create? As simple as first understanding. If we consider Eclipse, what is the use of Eclipse? Use of Eclipse. Writing the programs and executing the program. Under Eclipse, what we have to create? Under Eclipse, what we will create? Project. Under project, package. Under package, class. Under the class, method. You are taking Eclipse under that project, under that package. When you created a package, if we are creating the package in Eclipse, that package or one package is equal to one folder. One package is equal to one folder in project workspace. One package is equal to one folder in project workspace. As simple as you need to be taking care about this folder creation. So creating the folder as simple as you need to be creating with package. If you create the package, that package is equal to one folder. One package is equal to one folder in project workspace. So let's see that how exactly we can perform. All these things here. Okay. So as simple as taking with file, taking with new, and then using the option of project. Using with the option, you will be using with the option taking with Java project. Once you are taking Java project, you need to be provide project name. Project name that you will be considering that framework. You need to be create one particular project name that you will be creating that particular respective project. Project created. Under project, what you have to create? Under project, what you have to create? Package. One package is equal to one folder. One package is equal to one folder in project workspace. According to our project requirement. Creating with package, providing package name, com dot. As simple as you are already doing, package names can go with com. Com dot, we need to be provide project name. What is the project we are working? The project name related to automation. Manual testing, what is the project we done? Adaptine. Manual testing we done with Adaptine project. Automation testing, what is the project we are doing? HRMS. Providing that name. Dot, considering that lib. We can mention that lib folder. Considering that lib, that we will be mentioning that lib folder. Okay. After that, we are creating with one more package. com.hrms. Taking with test script. We created two folder. One is lib folder. The one you created lib folder and the one you created test script folder. Two folders created. Okay. According to programming, we created two packages, then taking with classes. Creating with one particular class name that you will be taking with class. We need to be provide class name. I'm taking with the class name. What is the class name we provided? Global. Just an example, not like mandatory. because of frameworks, it's not like mandatory. Because of frameworks, it's not like mandatory. Need to go with the same name. Based on your comfortable, you can go with any of the name. After that, need to be get provided, that you will be taking with class. Need to be get provide class name, that you will be taking with general. What is the class name we provided? General. First one is global, another one general. Okay. Now we can see, considering that framework, what is the meaning of framework? creation of folder structure. How many folders we created? 2 folders. What are the folders? No. The slip we can consider 1 folder, test script, 1 more folder. Along with the folders, what need to be done? Along with the folder, what need to be done? That standard rules need to be followed. Along with the folders, we need to be taking care about the standard rules. See that standard rule. As simple as, according to a laptop, in the movies folder, what you will maintain? Movies. In the songs folder, songs. You are following that standard rule. Here also, we need to be followed that respective standard rule. Considering that in the class name of global, we are providing or considering that the standard rule you have been followed to provide test data, and objects related to whole application. So in the global class, we are following the standard rule of providing test data and objects related to whole application. Related to the whole application, whatever the test case you are automating, based on that particular test case, you need to be provide all the test data and you need to be provide all objects here. Sorry. Right. So we need to be provide test data and objects. Okay. In a similar way, taking with general.java. So here we need to be get followed, taking with the standard rule. That is considering that to provide all reusable functions. Again, related to whole application. So this is what we need to be get consider. Mentioning about following with the respective standard rule. According to that standard rule, you need to be followed developing automation script. Then you will be taking with test script. So here we need to be create the actual automation script. What exactly that actual automation script is there? We need to be maintain test scripts here. So this is how we need to be followed with standard rules. So up to this, the test lead will take care of it. It's not like he was doing all the programming and then continued with the automation. Test lead will not do anything. This is how the test lead will create the folder and it will provide that standard rule. According to that standard rules, you guys need to be continued in developing with automation script. So how exactly we can do it? Let's see here. For that, we need to get start working with Selenium. If you want to work with Selenium, what do we require? To work with Selenium, what do we require? Jar files has been required. Based on jar files, what we can access? What we can access? Packages. Based on packages? Based on packages. Taking with class. Based on the class? Need to be take with method. Okay. Right. Now, see that how we can do that. Up to this, test lead will take care of it. Now, as a tester, we need to get start developing automation script. On which basis need to develop automation script? On which basis you have to develop automation script? Based on manual test case. That will be the common. It can be individual program, frameworks, whatever it can be. Manual test cases are mandatory. Need to refer with the manual test cases. Based on manual test cases, we need to get develop automation script. So let's see that how exactly we can perform. So now we need to start work with Selenium. To work with Selenium, what we required? What we required? Jar files has been required. Adding the jar files, adding the jar files. Click on add external jar, which you will be taking with Selenium 4.4. First I'm adding all the jar files of lib folder. First I'm adding all the jar files apart from lib folder. Click on open. Again click on add external jar, taking with the lib folder and then selecting with all the jar files here. So which you will be taking with apply and close. Okay. Now we can see here what is option you got? Reference library. So under reference library, all your jar files will be available. So whatever the jar files you got added, it will be available. Now we'll continue the programming. Further, let's consider first test case. What is our first test case? What is our first test case? That login, logout. We need to automate the functionality of login, logout. Further, related to login, logout, we need to provide. Related to login, logout, we need to provide the respective test data. Related to login or related to the test case what you are automating, you need to provide test data. Further, as simple as you are taking with string and then taking with username here. So you need, test data, right? String you will be taking with URL. So this URL we need to provide. This URL we need to provide. So once you need to provide URL. So let me provide URL. Right. So once you got provided URL, next you need to considering the taking with string and then taking with password. So we need to provide with username need to be done. This will be taking with username. Need to provide that particular username and then taking with public and then taking with string considering that password. Mention that Naresh IT. Okay. Now we can see here. So related to the first test case, whatever the test data required, related to the first test case, whatever the test data has been required, you need to be provide all the test data. Okay. Next. What need to be provided? Objects. Okay. No. Now what are the objects we required? Related to login, logout, what are the objects you required? Username, text box. Objects, what are the objects you have to identify? Username, text box. Password, text box. Login button. Click on logout. That logout option need to be done. Let's see how we are defining it. Okay. I'm just taking with public string considering the txt text box and then mention login name equal to you need to be provide txt username. After that public string txt password equal to what is it? P capital or small? Sorry. txt password. Okay. After that button. Which button? Login. Considering that submit. After that link underscore logout. What is that? Okay. So as simple as related to that particular test case, you need to be provide whatever the test data required, whatever the objects has been required. So whatever the test data required, whatever the objects has been required, need to be provide all the required information. Now we can see here. So if we do this, is there any functions we written? Did we written any functions in this? No. As simple as we got taking with global. In global what we are maintaining? In global what we are maintaining? Test data and objects. As simple as we are maintaining. Test data and which will be taking with objects here. Okay, right. Okay, right. So this is we done with, we are not writing any of the functions. Is there any functions has been written? No, just we got considering the taking with the global that you provided test data and you provided objects. Just make a note of this, not like all the things here, just two objects and then two test data. For your just reference, not required all the things, just make a note of two test data and then take with the two objects. Just the two syntaxes. Not required all the objects here, just an example to the test data and then two objects you can have for the reference. Done? Login? Hmm. No. This is, we can provide any of the name. So as for easy understanding, we are mentioning the taking with login name here. Okay. So these information, this txt username, txt password, from where you will get this information? From HTML code. So that concept will be the same. All these information need to be get from the HTML code. As simple as this is nothing but indirectly in programming, you done with the concept of data types and variables. What is the use of data types and variables? Data types and variables to get store that respective value. That is what you are doing here. According to the testing perspective, whatever the test data has been required, you got assigned with the test data. Whatever the objects has been required, you have been assigned that particular respective objects. So now we are following with the standard rule. We are following with the standard rule of providing test data and objects. Providing test data and then taking with objects. Okay, done. Now, see here. Next. This is we got global, we done. Now assume that in case if you're automating one more test case. For now, I provided test data objects with the respective of our very first test case of login, logout. Assume that if you are automating with any another test case, in case of add employee, related to add employee, what is the test data you record? Assume that you want to automate the test case of add new employee. What is the test data required? The URL, username, password. Apart from that, employee first name, last name. You need to enter employee first name. You need to enter last name. So that employee first name and last name need to be get added here. So that is how it will be continued. Now you can see that for now we done with global. Next we will be taking with general. Now we can see here. Considering this, in general.java, what we have to maintain? What we have to maintain here? All reusable functions, or you can consider method. What is the use of the method? What is the use of the method? To perform an action. How many types of methods we have? How many types of methods we have? Two types. What are those? Predefined, user defined. Meaning of predefined? Meaning of predefined? Already defined. Meaning of user defined? defined by the user. Till now, did we written any of our own methods? In Selenium, did we written any of our own methods? No. We are working with predefined methods. We are working with the predefined methods. So now we are taking with the help of predefined methods. Now we are taking with the help of predefined methods. With the help of that, we are coming up with writing our own methods here. Let's see that. For that, we are writing one method. Coming up with our own method. What is the method name we provided? Open application. So according to the step, if you want to open application, what are the steps need to be done? To open the application, what are the steps need to be done? In case of manual, first is launch the browser. After that, enter the URL. That is what we have to perform. Launching the browser, what is the statement we have to write? What we have to write? System dot set property. And then we need to be get provide WebDriver dot gecko dot driver. Okay. After that, what we have to provide here? Path of driver.exe file. We need to be get provide path of driver.exe file. We need to be get provide including with the file name and extension. After that, we need to be mention WebDriver driver equal to new Firefox driver. Okay. Now we can see that giving an error. Why it is giving an error? We need to get import packages. If you want to be get import packages, we need to be get add jar files. That is what we got added the jar file. So importing that particular respective packages. Okay. Next, what need to be done? Driver dot. What are the method names we got? One is navigate.to. Another one is get method. Either we can work with the get method or we can work with navigate.to using with the method name that I will be taking with navigate.to. So here I need to be provide URL. See the understanding. According to this framework, where we provided that URL? In global class. In the global class, we provided that URL. Now that URL, we have to access into general class. As simple as the data available in one class, we need to access into another class. Accessing the data from one class to another class. How we can do that? What is it? Extends keyword. Considering that inheritance. So meaning of inheritance? Accessing the data or properties from one class to another class. So according to our program requirement, all our required test data we maintained in one class. Whenever we required, we are accessing into another class. So this is how you are taking that OOPS concepts in Selenium. I mean, according to that particular requirement, you need to get apply that particular required concept. So that inheritance, what is the keyword? What is the keyword you have to do? Taking with extents. Extents of taking with global. So extents of global. Now we can see here, I'm taking with dot, which I will be taking with 2. Now you are getting the list of the values. From where you are getting all these values? All these values from where you are getting? From global class. The data we provided in one class, we are accessing into another class. So that is what we are taking with URL. For the confirmation, we are printing with the statement. For the confirmation, we are printing with the statement that we will be mentioning that application open. Okay. Next, we done with open application. Coming up with one more function that we will be taking with void and then taking with close application. We need to write one more particular function that we will be taking with close application. To close application, what is the code we have to write? Driver dot close. But where is close method? I need to take with driver dot close. I written the statement driver dot, there is no close method. What need to be done? Why by? Which method? Which predefined method? By is for to get access for object identification related methods. I'm not identifying object here. What need to be done? Driver dot quit. Okay. Quit also not there. Online students. You guys are already very well knowing it. Okay, let's see here. Driver dot getting an access. The same thing I'm trying here. Giving in a driver dot, giving an access. What need to be done there? What is the issue? What is it? We define the driver reference we done within a method. We mention that within a method. So within this method you can access. Within that method you can access, it is giving an access. But outside of the method, you are not able to get access. So now our requirement is we need to take the driver reference in outside of the method also. So how we can do that? Create. As simple as you guys are very well knowing about object creation. To create object, what is the syntax you will follow? You will be taking with class name, object name equal to new class name. Okay. This is very clear. This is very perfect. According to this, you have been done with WebDriver and then taking with driver equal to, you have been mentioned about new Firefox driver. Very clear on this. The same thing in a different way. The same concept you can see here. Considering that class name, object name. I'm closing this statement. Taking with the next line. doing with the next line. Object name equal to new class name. Both are object creation. So both are object creation. In this one, according to this, I'm writing WebDriver driver. Okay. Next line. What you will write? Driver equal to new Firefox driver. So previously we followed with the first approach. Now we are taking with the second approach. So here, to make our framework, this particular statement we are defining in global.java. We are defining in global.java. And this particular one we are providing in general.java. Now we can see how we can do this. So this particular statement in this global, I'm defining it. So first I'm taking with WebDriver and then driver. Okay. So need to be get import this driver package. Is this driver reference or driver object related to only this class? We need to go with all classes, I mean whole project. Because of that, this is I'm considering as a public. Okay. So now I'm taking with general. In general, I'm taking with driver equal to new Firefox driver. Okay. Now we can see here, considering the driver dot, getting an access now. Okay. So driver dot, what is the method we require? Either close method, quit method, anything it can work. Taking with close method. Okay. So we got open application and then taking with close application. In a similar way, we are writing with one more function. Writing with one more method, public void, taking with login. So login means what we have to perform? We need to enter username and enter password. After that, click on login. For doing that, what is the statement we have to write? What is the statement? As simple as driver dot find element by dot taking with name. So that name we are already provided. We are accessing that you are taking with txt login name dot. What is the method name? What is the method name? Syndicate. We are already provided that, just accessing it. After that, driver dot find element and then considering that by dot taking with name, that you will be taking with txt password dot you will be taking with syndicate, that you will be taking with password. So you are typing with username and then typing with password. So you are typing with the username and typing with the password. After that, need to be get click on login button. For that, driver dot taking with find element by dot taking with name, that you will be taking with button, that you will be taking with login dot. What is that method? Taking with click. So for the confirmation, printing with the statement. What are you printing that? Login completed. So which need to be get print with the statement login completed. Okay. After that, which you will be taking with another method, which you will be taking with one more method, considering that taking with logout, which need to be get right, another method that you will be taking with logout. Okay. So now you can see here, considering that driver dot find element by dot, which you will be taking with link text. So that you will be considering that link underscore logout, and then taking with the dot that you will be taking with click activity. Okay. So for the confirmation, we are printing with the statement considering that logout completed. So this is what the job role of automation tester. You need to refer that manual testing cases. By referring that particular manual testing cases, you need to be coming up with writing all the required function. It's not like just in one day. That is what your continuous activity as the job role of automation tester. As a job role of automation tester, you need to be continued. You need to be continued in developing of writing all the required functions. So once we have been done with global and general, now we can see. First we are taking with global. What you are maintaining in global? Tested data and objects. We done with that. And then taking with general. What you are maintaining in general? All reusable functions here. Okay. Finally, you will be taking with test script. Under test script, you need to be taking care about maintaining your actual automation script. Sorry. Under test script, you need to be maintain all your actual automation script. So now here you need to be coming up with in taking care about main method. You need to be coming up with taking care about main method. That you will be mentioning about writing with public static void main, and considering that string args need to be go with that main method here. Now here we need to be perform that particular test step. So as simple as first I want to be open the application, that method available, need to be done login, that method available, need to take logout and close application. All the required methods are there. Need to get access of that method. So how will get access for method? How will get access for method? By creating object. You need to be create with the object. Now according to this, for which class you have to create object? Is it global or general or TC001? Which class? What is it? Why general? Why general? As simple as all your required methods available in which class? Available in which class? General class. All your required methods are available. All your required methods are available in general class. Because of that, we are creating with object for the class name of general. That we will be taking with class name and then taking with object name and then equal to new class name here. Okay. But giving an error, need to import that package. We need to be import that package. So now considering that object dot, what is the method name we got? Open application. We came up with our own methods here. So according to the requirement, we came up with our own methods. Open application, After that, object dot, which you will be taking with login. And then you will be taking with considering that logout. And after that, need to be get considering that close application. So this is how we need to be get considering that working with the frameworks concept here. Now you can see that. So the main concept of frameworks, your maintenance, your access will become an easy. You return that all the required functions in one class. Whenever you require, you can access that methods considering that reusability. Considering that reusability. You are writing for one particular time and we can reuse for multiple times here. So maintenance also will become in a very easy. So this is how the frameworks concept came into the picture. Now we can see here. Considering that need to be get execute. Need to be get execute this particular program. You need to be able to see that performing all the required steps need to be get open that particular application and doing with the login and then taking with logout and close the application. So if you just compare with all your previous session, how to open application, close application, login, logout, all the syntaxes you are already done. Just according to the test case requirement, you are coming up with writing with the required functions. You are coming up with writing with the required functions and you need to call that functions here. So that is how you will be considering that working with framework. Now for this framework, whatever the integrations you want to do according to the requirement. So for now, you are just able to develop automation script, execution done, everything working. But are we able to send a report here? Like how many test case pass, how many test case fail? Is that we are able to see that report? No, we are not able to see that report because for now, we are working with, for now, we have been working with only WebDriver. Till now, we done with only WebDriver. The WebDriver has been used. The WebDriver has been used in developing with automation script. WebDriver has been used in developing with automation script. For this framework, you need to be get integrate. For this framework, you need to be get integrate with one more feature. For this framework, you need to be get integrate with one more feature that will be considered TestNG. Once you are integrating TestNG, once you are integrating TestNG, this TestNG we can use. This TestNG we can use in generating with HTML report. This TestNG we can use in generating with HTML report. So that you can consider you have been doing with a full-fledged framework because you are able to develop automation script and then you are able to get generate with test results here. So that is how based on that client requirement and based on that particular project requirement, it will be continued in implementing all the required features here. So for now, we done only WebDriver. For that WebDriver, we need to be get integrate TestNG. How to integrate TestNG? We look into that But before going to that, you guys need to be get practice. Before going to that, you need to be get taking care about practice of some automation script. Just make a note of test steps to be automated. In framework, what are all the test cases to be automated? In framework, what are all the test cases to be automated? Just make a note of this particular test case step. I'll provide with the steps. I'll provide that particular step. Make a note of that particular step. So let's see that what exactly that particular test steps need to be followed. So what exactly that particular test steps need to be followed? Let's see that. Let's understand. So when you guys are practicing, initially you can go with the same things here. You can go with the same naming convention. Once you got comfortable, then you can come up with your own things here. Okay. So now you can see that. Just make a note of the test step. Further, mention that TC001 considering that login _ logout. First test case name is TC001 _ login _ logout. Login, logout, the steps you are very well knowing it. And then take the second test case, TC002 add new employee. TC002 add new employee. Take the steps for that. Take the steps of second test case. TC002, take the steps. Take the first step, open application. Open application. For TC002, you can consider that open application. Take the next step, login into application. Login into application. Login into application. Login into application. Take the next step, click on add button. Click on add button. Click on add button. Click on add button. And take the next step, enter employee first name and last name. Employee first name and last name. Enter employee first name and last name. Enter employee first name and last name. Take the next step, click on save button. Click on save button. Click on save button. Click on save button. Take the next step, click on logout. Click on logout. Click on logout. Take the last step, close application. Close application. Close application. Close application. Next, take with the next test case, TC003. TC003 edit employee. TC003 edit employee. TC003 edit employee. Take the steps for that. Take the steps for that. Okay. Take the first step. Open application. Open application. Open application. Open application. Take the next step. Login into application. Login into application. Login into application. Login into application. Take the next step. Click on any employee name. 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 Okay. After that, take the next step. Take the next step. Clear existing employee first name and last name. Clear existing employee first name and last name. Clear existing employee first name and last name. Now, take the next step. Just a minute. What is the step written? Before that, click on. In between, write one more step. In between, click on edit button. Click on edit button. Click on edit button. Okay. Click on edit button. Okay. Next, continue the next step. Click on edit button. Once you click on edit button, clear employee first name and last